Good afternoon, everybody. We're here on the Thornbank Estate in Bolton. Genuine Futures and also representing Clean Futures. I'm here with Councillor Ayyub and my colleague Cameron. Councillor Ayyub, we just wanted to first say hello to you and thanks for talking to us. What sort of work are you involved in here on the Thornbank Estate?
Thornbank Estate is one of our sort of well-known sort of estates owned by B1 Homes now, who've sort of branded themselves. It's been here for a very, very long time. The community here are well settled. As a small community of about 300 homes, everybody sort of knows each other. There are some certain issues in the area, mainly around antisocial behaviour, fly tipping. There's also sort of help and support that's lacking. So today, and obviously the opening of the new hub is very welcomed. Hopefully it will start to sort of engage more proactively with the residents of the area and provide the necessary sort of support that they require to help themselves to improve. So things like employment, skills. Obviously, there'll be sort of drop-in facilities for police, councillors, and other agencies. So anything that's going to give them advice and support is welcome.
And in terms of the challenges that you're facing on the estate, what sort of things are on the top of that list?
The main challenges was around antisocial behaviour. I think collective work, a multi-agency approach seems to have worked. There's been a lot of activity which has resulted in that sort of declining. And hopefully sort of residents will now be able to see that change. And with that, obviously, help to improve the area as a whole. Fly tipping was another big issue for this area. And again, we've seen over the months, a change in terms of how that's tackled, how that's approached, and how that's reported. So those are the two main ones, for the local residents for this area. In general, there are lack of provision, lack of services. That's a major issue. Young people, there isn't really an active young people's hub in the area. Bromworth is probably the only area where we don't have a designated young sort of youth provision. There are ad hoc sort of services, but nothing sort of that's a dedicated service just for the young people to go to. So, and family communities, and also I've been working on green spaces. So just across the road, you see Quebec Fields, King George's Park, it's known as. We've just had that tidied up. We've had investment going in there. We've had new benches and everything put in there. So families are beginning to use that. I think it's more about creating that family environment. Where communities start to come together, start to talk, start to take ownership and be proud of
their own communities. And we find ourselves, as a social enterprise ourselves, we're dedicated to working with young people and being a part of the solution to the NEET problem. So we've got one of my colleagues and one of the people that's been on programs with us is Cameron, and we, as an organisation, we want to get involved in making the community a cleaner space. So one of the projects we've been involved in, and Cameron's particularly been involved in this, haven't you? So just share with Councillor Ayyub what you've been involved in.
So, like last Friday, we was here cleaning a bin store. We made it look, well, when we first got here, we took all the rubbish out, jet washed the floor, jet washed the bins, made it look nice and presentable. And we're looking to do that with all the other ones around here.
That's good, because like I said, if the area looks clean, then everybody else will start to have some ownership. So anything like that we can help with. One of the things I do encourage is obviously local volunteer sort of litter picking groups. So we now have I think at least half a dozen groups that have been established in the last sort of 18 months. And again, I said, if people start taking that ownership as well, it's more than that. It's challenging the ones that don't take the ownership. It's challenging the ones that are fighting. And it's demonstrating them that people do care. You need to stop doing this.
100%.
Cleanliness and the environment are there for everybody. So we want to make sure that everybody can enjoy that.
And that's our view too. The community and communal areas are everybody's responsibility. And as our organisation, what we want to do is be a part of that solution. So being a part of helping with that environmental issue. Cleanliness is it's the bin spaces. Some of the ones that we've seen, people won't use them because the health and safety of them is terrible.
Yeah.
So if there's anything that if there was anything that you could do to support the initiative that we have around trying to make this a cleaner and brighter space, for that we'd 100% appreciate that. And
I mean, as a ward councillor, anything that I can sort of get involved in and promote, I'm happy to do that. It's no problem. I think one of the other challenges that we have is that Runworth is probably the most diverse sort of community and ward in Bolton. So to give you an example, the school just across the road, Pikes Lane, 36 different languages spoken in the school. And in terms of sort of understanding of recycling, that's a big challenge. A lot of people from different countries have different sort of cultural awareness, right, and understanding of recycling. And obviously over here, how we operate our sort of bin storage, bin space, etc. Again, there's an education and awareness provision that's needed. So maybe one of the things that you could do, is speak to people as well about what recycling is, how to use effectively the bins that are provided to them, right, and why it's important to recycle.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, lastly, in terms of community support, what would be really useful for you, for an organisation like us, to get involved in?
I'm not sure if you know, but we have a Runworth Community Alliance.
Okay.
It's a collaboration of the majority, I won't say all, but the majority of volunteer groups that operate within Runworth. From basically youth stuff to volunteer cleaning to women's group, elderly groups, etc. So I think that would be a good space for you to get involved in, to understand what's going on in the ward. Right, and then from that, obviously, any support that's available as well through the council and through other partners, it's sort of directed through there as well. So I'm not sure if you're locked into that yet, or would you want to be locked into that?
That's a conversation for us, definitely. Yeah. But look, we're here to support, and we wish you all the best. You've got another 12 months of your term left.
I have, yes.
Yeah. So we'll be behind you. We're here to support you. And I'm sure you'll make a fantastic impact.
No, great. Thank you very much for your time. And
thank you for talking to us.
That you're doing. That's welcomed as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you.